Hail and well met, friends! Ending here for another episode of the epic story. When we last left off, we were getting ready to talk to an elf and hopefully make our way to
You did
Rohan.
not find the bow. Nona and I did not either.
The orc that seized it must have already left this area. Pity. The spare bow does not fire as accurately as my other did. I am still a deadly shot, Staftang, don't worry. Do you know how dangerous Nona is in combat? I did not think the Dunlandings were more than barbaric hill-dwelling men, he said right in front of Nona. But she is a deadly warrior indeed. I undoubtedly underestimated her, and will not do so again. If we are surprised by orcs, as we journey further along the Anduin, I will be glad to have her along.
Whatever orc took the bow must have fled the area.
You did not find Canadice's bow? We did not either. He seemed surprised, but I was not. Whatever orc took the bow must have known an elf would come looking for it, and fled the area. These elves underestimate how smart other people are. This orc is lucky it did, for its hunters numbered 3. Man, a gluth, and elf. Flight along. It's funny that she doesn't say she's woman, she calls herself a gluth. That's interesting. Flight alone would have saved it. I am sorry Corden does not have his favorite bow, but I still enjoyed the hunt. Do you think you can humor me on one account, Staftang? I understand we must hurry, but this should not take long.
Let us take a
We're
detour
close to
Stonegard,
Rohan.
so I can thank Horn.
Oh, you gotta see Horn. Okay, I got you, Nona. When we were last in this region, I was wounded in the swamp, and you brought me to the nearby outpost of the Horse Lords. I was a wounded enemy to everyone there save one, the Rohirrim, named Horn. He spoke on my behalf, and when you suggested that I be taken to the elf woods for healing. You interrupt Nona at this point, and tell her that it was actually Horn's idea. A confused look crosses her face. Really? Well, that is one more thing for which I should thank him. And that is what I want, Staftang. A brief detour to the outpost of Stanguard, so I can give him my thanks. Perhaps you can have him meet me here. I do not think I would be welcome once again within their walls. Oh, so now you want me to go all the way to Stanguard just to tell him to come all the way back here. Alright, Nona, well, here we go. Alright, here we go.
You were looking for Horn. Good. Take him with you.
Oh, it's you. Still traveling with unsavory types, are you? Afik looks up at you, looks you up and down, and the disgust on his face is clear. You are looking for Horn. Good. Take him with you. Take him and be gone. You will find him up the hill. You know, considering that they are the guys that were betrayed and are not supposed to be in Rohan anymore, and this is like their jail, basically, where they go and fight to, like, redeem themselves, it's a pretty big deal that Horn is being kicked out of here. Alright, let us see here what's going on. Hey, there you are, Horn.
How is the Dunlanding girl? Did she survive?
I did not think I would to see you again, Staftang. How is the Dunlanding girl? Did she survive? You tell Horn that the healing arts of Galadriel were sufficient, and that Nona has come to Thingland, and wishes to thank him in person for his kind words and actions. Oh, I see. I am glad. Horn seems conflicted about something, and when you ask him if everything is all right, he sighs heavily. It seems there is no place for me anymore, Staffdang. I'm no longer welcome in Stangard. My fellows think that I have been somehow tainted by stepping foot within the elf woods, and by speaking on behalf of a Dunlanding. Well, they no longer trust me. They want me to leave by sunrise tomorrow. You ask if there is anything you can do to help. That was my line, Andang. Stop stealing the announcer guy's lines. Sorry. Anyway. Well, I do not have many possessions. If you bring me my harp and my writing supplies, I will be ready to go. My harp is in the tavern, and my writing supplies are in Wada's house, where I have been staying. Alright, it better not be Glowwine's harp. Everybody knows what's going on there. Okay, where's Supplier's home? There we go. Hey, look at that. Now we have to go to the tavern and then we'll be good to go. Let's see here. All the way up there. That's a long way. But we shall go nonetheless. I always loved Stangard. It was the first view of what Rohan would be like. And, well, I guess that's not exactly true. I guess that was back in Dunland. But this was the first actual settlement that we got to see of Rohan. And so it was a really nice view into what the rest of Rohan would be like. Nope, that's a house. Discovered a house. Okay, where's this tavern? Back up this way, apparently. There's Horn's harp. Right by the Bard of Rohan. Convenient. Alright. Now we just have to go back to Horn and we should be good to go. But to get there we have to go all the way around. But no big deal. You can actually see the snow from Wildermoor, which was not there when I went through here originally. So, very interesting. For those that don't know, this is my first time going through at this level on another character. I've only gone through once this high before, so that's kind of cool. I'd been all the way to Moria before, but not this high.
I am not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go?
Thank you for bringing me these. I'm not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go? By the order of Theoden King, I am not to return to Rohan until my term of service in Stangard is finished. Horn looks uncomfortable. Where are you traveling, Staffdang? Could you use another companion on the road? I do not wish to intrude, but I believe my place is with you, and with the Dunlanding girl, for whom I gave up. Well, it was no life I gave up. I only did what was right, though my fellows failed to see it. You tell Horn that he is welcome to travel with you, as far as he will. Thank you, Staftang. I owe you a great deal for this. An aimless life would ill suit me. Your goals are now mine, and the dangers you face, I will face as well. Alright, the fellowship gets bigger. Let's see, where are we going to next? Talk to Nona. Nona. Alright, we're going back up there, so let us go and do just that. Alright, Nona, it's time to talk.
This confirms what I suspected about the Horse Lords. Cruel even to their own.
You tell Nona that Horn has been cast out of Stangard, and is no longer welcome there. This confirms what I have ever suspected about the Horse Lord Staffdang. They are cruel even to their own, and are not deserving of our sympathies. I will speak with Horn, thank him for his words on my behalf, and give him my sorrow that he has suffered for me. But I will also tell him that he is now better off, and need shed no tears for his lost fellows. We are ready to leave when Cordain says should leave. Speak with him when you are ready to go. That's right, I speak and we go. Not this elf pretty boy. It's my journey we're taking. Alright, he is the navigator though. Let's
Our
talk.
band of companions grows.
A Dunland girl, a Rohan man, an elf, and a man. It sounds like a joke, does it not? 3 humans and an elf? Ha ha, so funny.
We will still fit in the one boat, but it will not be comfortable.
I do not think we should recruit any more companions, Staffdang. Unless you fancy swimming alongside the boat. You'd be the one swimming, buddy. Are you ready to continue our journey?
Let us go to the boat together.
I want to have a good seat and a comfortable place to rest my arm as we paddle. Of course you do, buddy. Such an elf.
I have journeyed on the great river often, and know it swirls and eddies like no other elf.
That's great. That's the whole cinematic. I'm kind of glad that they got rid of the cinematics just because they started not telling the story anymore.
Is as familiar to me as my own shadow, but it is still a journey of some days. We must stop here for the night.
So on the one hand, they're able to tell more story with the actual in-game dialogue, but on the other hand, it's not... I really miss those cinematics, and I wish that we'd at least have cinematics of Frodo's journey, but they have session plays for that, so I don't know. It's a thing. That is far enough for today, Staffdang. Horn has already seen to the fire, so now we may sup and take some rest before night watches begin. We will leave in the morning, at first light. It is not good to travel further south on the Anduin at night, unless the need is considerable. The waters become treacherous the nearer you get to Sarangavir. Let us rejoin our companions, Staffdang. It is a good fire, built quickly, Horn. Thank you, Cordain. The Elf Queen was right to send us this guide with us, Staffdang. He knows the waters and how to keep a boat afloat, which is more than the daughter of the Sauvluke knows. Were it up to me, I would lead us south along dry land, with springy turf underfoot, and no fear of foundering. Nona lowers her voice, a rare event for the Dunlanding woman. The boat is not large enough to keep us from speaking, Staffdang. But as you saw, this horse lord managed to avoid addressing me in any way once we were on the river. If he has a grievance with me, tell him to air it so I may respond appropriately, with words or with Wadu's sword. I have become tired of his ability to look all around him, but not look in my direction, whatever direction that happens to be. Horn, were you looking at Nona or not looking at Nona or whatever she said? You are fortunate to have friends among the elves, Staffdang. I would not want to make this journey without a guide, and Cordovan appears to know what he is doing. But it is not seemingly for a man of Rohan to mingle with elves, as you saw in Stangard. Of his kind my people have little to say, but this, long-lived and dangerous. They have more to say of the folk of Dunland, but none of it is kind, and I will not disturb the girl's ears with any of it. I regret Nona's ill welcome at Stangard, when she has need of aid. Though I understand its root, her people and mine have a long and unhappy history, and I have no quarrel with her personality. But our shared friends and duties make us allies, none more than that. Alright, time to talk to the elf. We have some time before we should begin the night watches, Staffdang. Would you find some tale-telling agreeable? I find that the weaving of a good story among companions around a fire can be a pleasant way to pass the time. Have a seat and listen, Staffdang. I will begin, and perhaps our companions will have a tale to share as well. I grew up in the Golden Wood, but I spent most of my time exploring the wilderness. My sister Siglith stayed in Lorien for long years, but not in idleness. My skill with the bow, but hers with knives. She has them herself, she made them herself, and each was deadlier than the last. I returned from a journey once convinced I had become the greatest of archers. Is that so? I wager you cannot hit this wooden target from 50 paces. I accepted and strode 50 paces. When I turned to fire, I saw that my sister was right. She had hewn the target at its base, and it had fallen into the grass. We laughed and laughed. That is my tale. Do you have one to share, Staffdang? Of course I do. Ooh, have no story to share. I wonder what that would do. You know what? I'm gonna pick that one. I have no story to share. I am sorry to hear that you have no tale to share, but I cannot force you to speak. I'm gonna tell a story. Did it remove an answer? Wait a second. I'll speak of seeing the Nazgul. Very well, if you have the heart to tell it. Such creatures are possessed of incredible evil. It is not always best to speak of such things. I will begin. You speak of your time in the Rushgore with Nona, and Horn's... something or other. You speak too of Galadriel's belief that Nona's wound could kill her. After a time you came to the end of your story. That was crazy. Horn had the clustering appear over him like invisible corn. That was weird. Alright, let's talk. I shall go next. My tale concerns King of Fengil of Rohan, the grandfather of Theoden King. It is a sad tale, given the happenings of late, but you may find it interesting. King Fengil came to the throne when he was very young, and he ruled for 50 years. Though long his rule was ill-shared, he was prone to greed, and many enemies. In the last winter of his reign, he was hunting north of the Entwade on a cold afternoon. An elderly woman stumbled into the camp. She was lost and hungry.
"A scrap of bread, if you please, my mighty lord. I am lost, cold, and hungry."
Who are you, crone, to beg from the crown? If you seek warm food in your belly, find some churl whose bed lies unwarmed, or find some game and kill it yourself. King Fengil threw his own dagger at her feet and sent her away into the dark night. This is the kindness of the horse lords, is it? Horn did say that Fengil was a foolish king. He did say that, and I say he spoke true. But it does not seem an uncommon trait among the horse lords. The king's men were horrified, and they searched for the woman. They found her at dawn, frozen to death at the foot of a tall boulder, the king's dagger still in her hand. She had carved a curse into the face of the stone, along with her name, Renegade. Ringenade. Ringen Rohan name. Okay. Alright, well, actually, I think we're going to stop mid-story. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Epic Story. When we return, we'll finish this instance and hopefully finally make our way to Rohan. But till then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another episode of the Epic Story. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button below. And if you'd like to see more of my daily content, feel free to subscribe, and you'll be notified when that new content comes out. And also, if you'd like to help support my channel and help me continue to create high quality videos, feel free to support me on Patreon, and you can get all sorts of great rewards in the process. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another video.